When critics talk about you, and obviously they do on a regular basis, what I've noticed is recently more and more they talk about the way how brilliant you are at marketing yourself, how you are this genius at packaging, at getting publicity, and yet rarely, it seems anymore, do they talk about the songs, the videos, the live performance, the films. It's like Madonna, the phenomena. Right. Is that something that bores you? Is that something that actually
Yes, I think
depressed?
It's boring. I think what it is a reflection of society, because I think the subject matter that I deal with, because it usually is about taboo subjects, people are so frightened of my ideas that they try to undermine my actual talent or any artistic value that may be in any of my work, and just say, oh, she's just doing that to shock people, or oh, look, she's changing her look again, or she really knows how to manipulate the media. But the fact is, if that's all I was good at doing, I don't think people would be paying attention to me for this long. I mean, I'm still here.
You once said you wanted to conquer the world. Do you think you have?
Well, they say yes, but I say no. No, there's more to do, more to conquer.
She had a vision of where she wanted to be from very early on.
She suddenly came to the forefront of pop at a time when it was fairly male-dominated as well. You know, there was this exhibitionist, maybe slightly immature future pop superstar who arrived on the scene when girls were going mad for Spandau Ballet and Wham, and then suddenly she arrives and all these girls look up to this huge pop icon.
She's the biggest selling female artist of all time, and she's released some incredible music, some great pop songs, and they continue to survive.
From Birmingham to Bangladesh to Boston, and I'm not joking, everyone listens to Madonna's music.
Vogue is one of those Madonna songs. You know, Madonna, on some of her songs, she produces this energetic vocal, and she doesn't always do it. And I think it's the songs that have that energetic vocal that just propel that song, that makes people kind of go nuts for it. You know, and when she says, "Get up on the dance floor," and near the, you know, sort of right near the end of Vogue, I think that's when everybody does. You know, everybody obeys Madonna.
Madonna became the ultimate pop icon by being very good at everything, but not brilliant at anything. She's not a great dancer, she's not a great singer, but the whole package is perfect. And she constantly reinvented herself so that she was always one step ahead of everyone else.
You seem to reinvent yourself every few years. Is that a conscious thing, or do you just get tired of yourself and say, I want a new Madonna every couple of years?
Well, I don't think it's a question of getting tired of myself, but it's like, it's all different aspects of my personality, and I just kind of I focus in on different aspects of my personality, and I kind of get very involved in it, you know. I mean, like, sometimes I'll feel very vulnerable and that's how I'll appear. Sometimes I'll feel very strong and that's how I'll appear. I mean, I don't think there's a big difference between what I do and what, say, De Niro does when he gets completely involved in a character, and for that 6 months or whatever, he walks around all day long with his, you know, weighing 40 pounds more than he does, with long hair or whatever, and he completely changes, you know, his appearance. And, you know, obviously he's searching out, you know, I don't think an actor chooses to do roles in movies that he can't somehow relate to in some way, you know. So, in a way, I think it's very similar. You know, I'm just kind of acting out different parts of my personality.
Does it strike you that sometimes, for instance, if you feel your popularity is flagging, that you must be more outrageous, you must do something else? No, that's my personality. I've always been that way.
Everyone always says, "Oh, she reinvented herself," but the thing is, I just get a new haircut every year. I mean, which everyone should do, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think
it's really good for your head to not get stuck in your way of thinking. Like, this is how I look, this is my image, this is who I am. It kind of wakes you up and makes you dress another way and think another way and carry yourself another way.
She's reinvented herself so many times, it's unbelievable. You can't keep up. She knows where the sound of pop is going. She holds back, and when she's ready to release a single, she knows where it's at, how to look and how to sound, and she does it brilliantly.
When she started, her voice was described as Minnie Mouse, wasn't it? But I think she had a lot of vocal coaching over the years, so she realises her weaknesses. She's always realised her weaknesses, so I wouldn't say she's a bad singer anymore.
I think actually she's more schooled in the entertainment profession as a well-rounded entertainer. Even since the inception of rock and roll, I don't think pop music has ever been about having the best voice.
She came from that background of doing live gigs. It wasn't just a manufactured studio situation. No matter how much her career has been manufactured after that point, she went out with a band and sang.
She understood the importance of putting on a complete show rather than putting all her eggs into one basket. So it wasn't just about the music, and it wasn't just about the video, it wasn't just about the costumes and the live performance, it was about all of those things.
But I think there's a raw quality and an energy that she had ever since the very first record, that regardless of how well she sang, she did something on a pop record that no one else was doing quite that way.
And that's what made her the icon that she is, which is why we're still talking about her more than 20 years after she first arrived with Holiday and Lucky Star. You know, at that time, she certainly didn't look like we'd be, you know, still talking about her now. But, I mean, you can't imagine the pop world without Madonna now. No, I think Madonna really started to be taken seriously around the Like a Virgin time. I think before that you kind of thought this girl would release a couple of singles and, you know, she'd pretty much disappear. So yeah, I think it was very difficult to predict what would happen in the next 2 years. The fact that by the time she released the Like a Virgin album, you know, it almost looked like she ruled the pop world already.
Like a Virgin was very much the beginning. I mean, a lot of the songs were left over from the first album. The difference between the first album and Like a Virgin is that the first album was a lot of fun, basically. It was a pop record. But the second album was a lot more knowing. She knew what she was about. She was pushing buttons. So it was a lot more a realised concept.
The album was actually finished several months before, and they actually held it back because of the success of some of the singles from the previous album. You know, I think her lyrics probably started to get much more sophisticated on Like a Virgin. I mean, before that she was kind of a 12-inch single queen and a disco dolly, if you want to call her that. And then I think Like a Virgin, she knew that she had to focus a bit more on sort of coming up with lyrics that fit sort of traditional pop music.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
No.
Okay, next question over here. Rapid fire, people, rapid fire.
Hi. I consider myself a humanist.
The idea of Madonna as a feminist icon is quite interesting because you can look at this in two ways. One is that in her early days there wasn't anything very sisterly about Madonna at all. She would quite happily use and abuse her women friends as she would her male friends. She certainly wasn't blazing a great crusade for feminism in the way that she did treat individuals to begin with.
She's had a history of scrapping half of an album because she's not satisfied with it and firing the producer and moving on to another one. And I'm not saying she would have done that at the early stage of Like a Virgin, but I think that she definitely would have been in that studio and telling Niles what she liked and what she didn't, you know. And I think, in fact, I think that actually it was her, she got her way as far as the first single. At the time, I think he was determined to have Material Girl be the first single, but she knew Like a Virgin was the statement she wanted to make, and she got her way, and it's history because Like a Virgin was #1 and Material Girl was #2.
Prancing around in a wedding dress, you know, and singing about being like a virgin, that would be controversial at any time. I mean, particularly when you come from a Catholic family, and you know, and you're singing these songs, aiming these at teenage girls. Yeah, I mean, it upset the church big time, but she didn't care, and that's a great thing. There were no boundaries of Madonna. She'd say what she wanted, sing about what she wanted, look how she wanted, and who bloody cares? You know, who thought what?
America's a very conservative place now, and it was even more conservative then. And family values, particularly like, you know, getting married and weddings, you know, it was this thing that you just didn't mess with.
But you know, that's what good rock and roll is all about. I mean, when they said don't film Elvis below the waist, you know, there was a reason for that. It wasn't because, you know, they thought it was crap. It was because they wanted to keep the audience, and they didn't want to piss off, you know, the mums and you know, who just liked him as a sweet boy. The mums didn't want to think about what was going on below his waist, you know. So the same applies to Madonna, you know. But things are different in her era, of course. She knew what she was doing. I think in many ways she was doing a bit of two fingers to the church.
I do think that some of the success of Like a Virgin as a song had a lot to do with the video. I think she was right in there when MTV was coming of age as well and started to become a vehicle for people to get their songs into people's heads.
She was playing on male fantasies, basically. Yeah, and one was, you know, virginal. The other was, you know, you can be a material girl, you know, you can buy me with diamonds. And so I think it was all tied up with that, trying to press male buttons, but at the same time having fun with it, taking the piss a little bit.
Yeah, I think Madonna varied her image not only with every album, almost with every single and every video. The Material Girl thing was Marilyn Monroe. Like a Virgin, she's in a wedding dress. Each time she did this, the world was kind of going, wow.
The Material Girl video is probably one of the first times when you saw sort of a striking like contrast between her street style and also the ability to glam up at a drop of a hat. And I think that set the tone for all of her future changes of image, you know, from one video to the next within the same album, 5 different images.
If you were going to sort of do a timeline of Madonna's image, then you probably start with the wedding dress and her Brits photo on the sleeve. That was costume change number 1. And the fact that she went through like 3 or 4 costume changes during that album and the subsequent single releases and the live show, I think it made people aware that, you know, she wasn't just a pop star who was going to turn up and sing, you know, there was a lot more to her.
I think the Like a Virgin album was very much the point at which Madonna realised she could do a lot more with her image, her use of costume, her use of characters, her use of drama and theatre and all the things that she suddenly saw she could do. Eventually she would have the budget to be able to do all of these and to do them in fine and sometimes very controversial fashion.
She said that the one thing she regrets in her early career is Material Girl. And it wasn't written by her, that's an important thing to say. It was written by a couple of disco pop writers at the time. And I think she didn't like that statement of materialism, although it was very much in keeping with the times.
Material Girl was meant to be ironic. She said that several times, and I think that she was quite annoyed herself that the media made it out to be sort of promoting the sort of yuppie lifestyle, all the money that was being made on the stock market and everything else in the 80s. And I think it bugged her a bit that she felt people didn't get it.
Yeah, he's still after me. He just gave me a necklace. I don't know, I think it's real diamonds. Yeah, he thinks he can impress me by giving me expensive gifts. It's nice though. You want it?
And it only takes someone to watch the video to realize what she was trying to say was actually, you know, that her character in the video is not bothered about wealth and fame and everything else. She just wants a man that's going to impress her, you know, with a bit of romance. And by the end of the video, she goes off with the guy when he shows up in a farmer's truck and hands her some weedy looking flowers. So I think really, you know, I think her point was made in the video right from the very start.
The Material Girl video was a perfect follow-up to Like a Virgin because she appropriated the image of Marilyn Monroe in its entirety.
The record company wouldn't listen to her idea that she wanted to do this pastiche of Marilyn Monroe, They kept on giving her loads and loads of different ideas, but she insisted that they do this, and this was the first instance of Madonna kind of putting her foot down and saying, let's do it my way. And from that point on, she had a hand in pretty much everything to do with her career.
The key to Madonna's whole career is her ability to pick the right collaborators, particularly musically, but also visually, and in terms of the video directors she worked with, the photographers she worked with, and the people she surrounded herself with. Because she was not a great singer, she was not a great musician, she was not even a great songwriter, but somehow she picked the right people who could bring her best qualities out in her. I think Nile Rodgers, who was the creative leader of Chic, you know, I mean, these guys invented funky dance music. What he brought to that record was a kind of air of funkiness and an air of musical sophistication that Madonna wouldn't have had without him. You know, I mean, Like a Virgin, what a funky track. And, you know, obviously Madonna is the face and the image in fronting that whole thing, but Nile Rodgers was very much the brains behind that record, musically. I mean, I think the guy's a genius.
I think that Like a Virgin album, she will probably claim it was more her idea. I think Nile Rodgers probably had a fair amount of input on that. I mean, this was early on in her career, and even though she was certainly probably years ahead of her numerical age, she was definitely a mature, ambitious young lady. But Nile Rodgers had been working with some serious you know, like the Cheiks and Sister Sledges of that sort of late 70s, early 80s sort of funky, soulful era. So he had a massive input on the sound of those songs. Isn't the bass lines and the way that the songs are produced, how well produced they are, and the vocals, and I mean, it all comes together to make a great pop song, and Nile Rodgers has to be responsible for most of that, I would have thought.
It seems to me that it's a fairly even collaboration between producer and artist on Like a Virgin. I think Like a Virgin was pretty much a straight release of her version of the demo song that she heard, but Material Girl, you know, I think she gave her own signature style to that.
The sound of it is very much comes from him. It's very crisp and clean and clinical, but I would imagine it's exactly how she wants to sound. I don't think it was really until Like a Prayer that musically she started making things happen.
You miss your mother still, the mother who died when you were so young.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be a different person if your mother was still alive, or would your stage act be the same? Do you think?
I probably wouldn't be in the entertainment business if I had had a mother.
Really? What do you think you do?
I have no idea. I'm just sure things. I mean, it was a very big thing in my life. It changed me. It made me. It turned me into the warrior that I am. I mean, because it hurt me so deeply that I said, okay, I will never need anyone again. I'm gonna, since I don't have my mother to love me, I'm going to, and my father is spreading his attention with 8 brothers and sisters. I'm going to go out into the world and make the world love me. I mean, this is what I say to myself as a child. This was my catalyst for doing the things I did. If I'd had a mother, I'm sure I would be doing something completely different. So
Madonna's a classic troubled pop star. You know, she lost her mother when she was very young. She had a very controlling, strict father. She is very much a product of her upbringing. She would not have had that kind of fierce ambition and drive. You know, everything she did reflected that.
She was obviously very early on very obsessed with like parental disapproval, in particular, you know, her father's disapproval. The first 2 albums basically had a lot of this father stuff in them, and it was actually incorporated into her live show on the Virgin tour.
She was resplendent in a white wedding dress, which was then stripped off when she went into Material Girl. It was a stunning finale at the gigs. And she then had a character playing her dad to come and drag her off stage at the end of the show in mock horror at the strip that she'd performed.
Madonna, come down off that stage this instant.
Daddy, is that you?
You're coming home with me right now, young lady.
But Daddy, I'm having a good time.
You heard what I said.
When she played in Detroit, her father was in the audience and she made him come up on stage and say that part. And that was very much a kind of reconciling with her father.
I think the way my father's learned to deal with my career and the craziness that surrounds my life and the controversy and stuff is just a sort of, I mean, he has a very large family, and my father's had a really tough life himself. And I think that he sort of lets things roll off of him instead of reacting overtly either way. Instead of being really ecstatic and happy, I think to keep himself from being really upset, he just sort of goes like this, and that's been his method of survival through the years, you know. And he doesn't treat me differently than any of my other brothers and sisters. And sometimes I think, oh God, you know, why doesn't he get excited about the things that I've accomplished? But on the other hand, I'm relieved, because then I can come home and not feel like a freak or something, you know. I'm treated like everybody else.
You try to criticize my drive if I lose, I don't feel paralyzed. It's not the game, it's how you play. And if I fall, I get up again. I get up again, over and over. I get up again, over and over. I get up again, over and over. I get up again, over and over.
Lyrically, some of her earlier songs definitely reveal a bit of her character. I do think Over and Over saying, you know, I'll get up again, and she's saying hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up has become like almost a mantra for her career. It's like she's always got to do the next thing.
I don't want to come across as cynical now, but I think that the Like a Virgin tour, which was all about colour, flamboyance, you know, showing out, might well have been an interesting vehicle to, or a good way to cover up and distract the audience from what is really a mediocre kind of pop voice.
On the Virgin tour, there was a lot of vocal tracks in the background to make up for her thin voice. There's also a lot of choreography, but it wasn't the huge kind of show that we imagine Madonna today to do.
I don't think they were great gigs in those days. You know, I can remember her at the original Live Aid, and it was dreadful. I mean, dreadful.
Come on! Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove your love
because she knew she wasn't the best singer, I think she felt she had to give the people the show that they were going to feel they had value for money. I mean, I think that she was determined to get out there and give people a show that they would remember, and remember who she was.
I don't think you can separate Madonna the singer and Madonna the performer. Obviously, being a performer is intrinsically linked in the pop world to movement and dance and the visual aspect. So, you know, the people accusing her of trying to, you know, cover up the fact that she wasn't Whitney Houston as a singer by dancing, it's kind of a bit of a red herring, really. I mean, yeah, she was from a dance background and she was a very good dancer, but, you know, let's not forget, this is the entertainment business we're talking about.
Obviously her voice has gotten a lot better since the Like a Virgin tour, but there is sort of a ferocity and an energy in her performance. If you watch even the home video version of the tour, you can see that absolute energy of the showmanship that she's got, and she's always given that ever since that first tour.
I think apart from what we talked about before, the fact that she was definitely out to stir things up with her father, I think. She wanted to stir things up in the media because ultimately in the pop world, if people aren't talking about you, you're finished. So I think Madonna, yeah, of course she was out to shock every single time. The difference is there was some substance behind what she was doing.
Is it all done with a sense of humour?
I think, yeah, I do. I think it's a lot of what I do is well, not a sense of irony, you know. I think it's good to see someone, a performer or whatever, and say, now does she mean that or doesn't she? Because it makes you ask questions, and it makes you see that there's two sides to every story, and everything isn't cut and dry, everything's black, everything isn't black and white, you know. So, and I think that I try to make that clear in my work by being tongue-in-cheek.
Do you worry that people might not get the irony, but they might not pick up on the humour?
Not really. I mean, everyone's not going to... You have to be intelligent to get the humor. You have to be sophisticated, and I know everybody isn't, so some people will get it and some people won't. I never want to be taken completely seriously. I think that that's the death of anyone.
Of course. But that is the problem, isn't it? That people think you mean it most of the time, don't they? Do you mean everything you say?
I mean everything I say, but I'm in terms of like my performance and stuff. I'm certainly in my last show. Much of what I did was tongue-in-cheek, and I mean, I'm being very sincere with you right now. But when I present a performance, for instance, and many times in my songs, there's a sense of irony that most intelligent people see it, and the people that don't, well, they don't. I mean, everyone can't love everything that you do.
Of course.
Or understand, even.
That's right. So the people are enjoying your performance, but sometimes on two different levels.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
One thing that I really loved about the Papa Don't Preach video and the t-shirt she wore at the time, which is Italians Do It Better. You know, that was just, it was fantastic. You know, she in every single way that she possibly could, she would try to upset or outrage or try and annoy her dad, I guess.
Do you think the older generation approves of you?
The older generation?
Yeah, older people. What, do they take a more censorious view?
I don't know. I think that the intelligent older generation with a sense of humor does. But I think people my age, there are plenty of people my age that don't appreciate me or approve of me, and younger. I don't think it's just the older generation.
What does that make you do? Does it make you annoyed, or does it make you want to change?
It doesn't do either. Makes me laugh.
She presses buttons with people, you know, and then gets people talking about what she's doing. Because if Madonna was an ugly, you know, not even ugly, if Madonna as a person and as a persona was boring, that music wouldn't stand up on its own.
When you call my name, it's like a little breath. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power, just like a breath. You know I'll take you there. I hear your voice. It's like an angel sighing. I have no choice. I hear your voice. Feels like flying.
Like a Prayer is probably the most powerful piece of work that Madonna's ever produced, both as a song and as a video. She knew that there was going to be a hullabaloo whenever that video was screened. Pepsi dropped her like a hot brick the minute it hit the TV screens. But on this occasion, I don't think that Madonna did this to be controversial, because she had always been obsessed with religious imagery right from the early days of just hanging the crucifix around her neck. And the erotic imagery is also something that is recurring in Madonna's work, certainly up until recent years. So with this video, she was linking religious and sexual passion and ecstasy. It's almost like the culmination of her dual fascinations.
When you call my name, it's like a little breath. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power, just like a breath. You know I'll take you there. When you call my name, it's like a little breath. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power.
Like a Prayer was inspired, the combination of sort of sexuality and church music all at the same time in a pop song that got people on the dance floor. I mean, who's ever heard of anything like that before? You know, something that quite crossed all those genres into one. You know, the Andre Crouch choir on there is really spectacular. You know, I think artistically that was one of her high points, absolutely.
And I think that was the moment where probably a lot of rock critics suddenly went, oh my God, there's a lot more to her. You know, that was the moment when people really stood up, I think. She came from a Catholic background, so basically I think she really, really wanted to upset the whole Catholic Church and everything, and the way she did it was, you know, a black Jesus, which doesn't seem outrageous now, but it really, really caused such a rumpus.
Did the Vatican coming down hard on you, did that make you resent Catholicism? Did it make
I already resented Catholicism. Yeah, I mean, I resented it as a child. You know, I thought that there were many unfair things about Catholicism, things I didn't agree with, and that just, you know, made me feel even stronger about that.
She came into her own on Like a Prayer. I mean, she wrote most of the album the year that she turned 30, and I think that she decided to still do pop music, but I think she brought a little bit more of an adult approach to it.
It's the album that pushed everything more forward, that musically people had to stand up and say, blimey, what's going on here?
It was blasphemous, probably, but it was such a powerful piece of work.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
She was probably one of the first straight-ahead pop artists to raise the bar for live performance to such a high scale. I mean, by 1990, the Blonde Ambition Tour was probably the most ambitious pop concert to date.
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home.
You know, I think before she'd kind of done this singing, dancing, bopping along, few nice songs, not that much attention paid to the musical detail. I think by the time they got to the Blonde Ambition Tour, she was a different performer entirely. Everything was shiny and sexy and sophisticated, and everything kind of came together at the right time, and then that was a show. That was a real theatrical production.
Blonde Ambition was the pinnacle of the whole thing because that was the collaboration with Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Come and have a chat with us, Jean-Paul.
Can I? Hello?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have a cushion and everything.
Oh, yeah, it's actually good.
Jean-Paul's the only man I'm going to marry.
I hope. I asked 3 times.
Yeah. I'm letting him.
You refuse now.
I'm letting him, you know, just, he's got a few more years of wild oats to sow. And, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
What do you adore about him? What do you adore about him?
His spirit.
I hope so, yeah. Also my body sometime, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know it very well. But anyway, I will show you.
It was costumes which dealt with sexual fantasy and gender bending and all kinds of outrageous and theatrical images. Madonna herself has always said that what she wanted to provide was theatre and spectacle, drama and surprise. And those were always things that could be expected from Madonna live.
Hold up, wait a minute, let us put some groove in it. Groove boy.
I think that every pop act since 1990 has been completely influenced by the Blonde Ambition Tour. I don't think we'd have, when we go to a concert now, we expect giant screens, we expect numerous costume changes, we expect dancing, choreography, everything else. If you see a pop act and they don't deliver that, you get a bit bored. And Madonna defined how a pop act should be presented in concert.
And I remember going to see Blonde Ambition and looking around, and it was the first time I really sort of felt there are people here for the show, for the outrage, not necessarily for the music. And you know, and it was a huge thing. You know, everybody had to see this amazing woman with her pointy bras simulating an orgasm on Wembley, a Wembley stage. You know, it was like a huge thing.
I think actually Madonna has opened the door for a lot of artists with by addressing issues since her earliest phases, I think that it's allowed a lot of artists to break open the doors about sexuality and other taboos. You know, I think that she influenced loads of other artists, and I think a lot of artists are thankful to her for sort of addressing the issues before they had to and making it easier for them.
You know, look at Britney in the school uniform. But that's Madonna inspired. That is totally Madonna inspired. So she's had a big influence on other artists with what she's done with her image and video action and sex.
Do you find is it strange talking about, because here we are, I'm talking about essentially photographs of you in sexual situations, you in the nude.
Yeah.
Does that, I mean, because it feels mildly strange to me. It's quite a pleasant strangeness, but it feels mildly...
Why is it strange?
Well, because I'm talking to someone I don't know about their physicality,
yeah,
their
but I'm
sexuality.
playing characters. It's theatrical to me. I mean, it's like a movie. Even though if I could do a love scene in a movie and feel nothing for the person I'm actually doing the scene with. That's what acting is. And I played this role, and the movie has an effect on people, but it's not really a life I've actually lived.
I think if you look at Madonna's career, I think she only really made one mistake, and that was the sex book. But at the time, I think she was going down this line of, you know, how much further can I push people? But I think she actually thought it was an artistic kind of statement, whereas most people disagreed. They just kind of thought, you know, I don't actually want to see Madonna's bum that much, you know, or I don't want more importantly, I don't want my kids who love Madonna's music to see Madonna's bum.
You're a heroine, of course, to many millions of young people, young girls and young boys. Do you think you're a good example to them?
Yes, I do. I think I stand for being honest, for saying what you believe in, for going after your dreams. I deal with a lot of subjects in the movie that I think are really important. Homophobia and sexism and all of those things. I mean, I'm against those things, and I'm very vocal about it in the movie, about being against them, and also in my show. And I think that those are important things, and I think that let's see, what else? Why else am I good for people?
I think part of the reasoning behind the sex book and the Erotica album was, you know, I'm going to do this because I've not seen anyone else do this in pop, sort of put forth this very much, put sexuality on the table and sing about it and show photographs of it, and, you know, and her being one of the probably the biggest pop star on the planet at the time. The sex book and the Erotica album were a really good step of her declaring her own independence, and I think she succeeded. And I think I really am flummoxed by people who say that the Erotica album was a failure. I mean, it had major top 10 singles.
Fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Everybody's got fever.
The whole sex book thing, I mean, what on earth was all that about? You know, I still haven't got a copy. I couldn't get one at the time, they'd sold out. She sold out, I think, with that book. And Erotica. Now that was fairly hardcore, wasn't it? So it grabbed headlines, but not for necessarily the right reasons.
Erotica, which I was listening to this morning on my little Walkman and enjoying very much, it's got much more of a kind of a dancey R&B sound to it. Is it intended for the clubs? Is that a step that you're trying to make?
No, that's the kind of music I've been listening to, influenced by, and I mean, it probably has a sort of a more gritty quality and more club quality, but it's because that's what I like right now. Yeah.
There were a lot of, I mean, it's a very sexy album.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Not all of it, but most of it.
When you kiss me, even when you hold tight.
She didn't really realise, I don't think, how mainstream her audience was. This was a big miscalculation in the sex book. I think she worked hard to really get back from that. And the way she got back from that was to go totally mainstream, lots of ballads. She almost, you know, Evita. She totally became very dull during that period, I think, really. Straight after the sex book, it totally went the other way. And it took about 4 or 5 years before she got her credibility back.
It seems like it's getting more brutal. I mean, they're particularly brutal in the last year or so. Have you noticed that? And
No.
Why do you think that is? I mean, is there a Madonna backlash?
I absolutely do what I want with my life. You know, if I buy a house and I want to paint it pink, that's what I do, you know. If I want to write a book about my sexual fantasies, that's what I do. When people are afraid of you or your ideas, it's their instinct to want to quiet you and get rid of you, and they will do it any way they can. I just think, I mean, the absurdity of it all is that now people are starting to write like 10-page articles about how my career is over with. And I sit there and I think, well, why are you writing about it? I mean, why, if everything I do is so abysmally boring and dull and you're not interested, then why have you taken the time to actually sit down? You know what I mean? Because I do remember a time when I didn't have so many enemies so many years ago.
I mean, I think it must be really hard for Madonna releasing music ever since the 90s, releasing music and having to live up with the mega Madonna of the 80s and the early 90s. I mean, she was such a powerhouse in the charts then, and I think it's a lot to live up to. I mean, Ray of Light was quite a return to success, and she carried on with that in music. But, you know, I think every artist has moments where the public don't quite get where they're at.
I like Rave Light, probably my favourite track from the Rave Light album. I think this was where Madonna realised that she didn't have to set out to shock and be controversial anymore, that she still had something very nice and very warm and something important to offer her record-buying public.
Ray of Light, I mean, even though Frozen was the first single from that album, it was Ray of Light that really propelled that album to be mega successful. I don't know, probably triple platinum at least. It's probably, it may be her best-selling album, I believe.
I see how far I've come. It's not like I'm ashamed of who I was 10 years ago, but I just realized that I was going through life in a kind of willy-nilly way, and I was just kind of, in a way, slashing and burning. And sometimes you have to do that, to let go of your past. And I was angry about the way people perceived me. People would have these ideas that if you were perceived as being sexual, then you couldn't be intelligent, and, you know, so I was in this very kind of angry and provocative mood, and a lot of what I was doing at the time was very ego-driven, and I was trying to shock people. You know, I'm not sure if it was an altruistic reason, you know what I mean? Looking back on it, at the time, I felt very self-important, you know?
Your heart is not open, so I must go. The spell has been broken, I loved you so. Freedom comes when you learn to let go. Creation comes when you learn to say no. You were my lesson, I had to learn.
for me, Ray of Light is a great album, but it's very heavily influenced by William Orbit. And with William Orbit, I think he's a very talented musician, and I think he had quite a heavy influence on Ray of Light.
Do you wanna go higher? There's nothing left to try. There's no place left to hide. There's no greater power than the power of goodbye.
I think Ray of Light is a very good record, actually, and I think Music is a very good record. End to end, in terms of a cohesive piece of work, I think those two maybe stand up better than most of her other albums.
Music makes the people come together. Yeah. Music makes the bourgeoisie and the rebel. Hey, Mr. DJ.
As strong as my identity was, and as opinionated and outspoken and provocative as I was, I still don't think I really understood what I was doing. I mean, I was searching, and I was making all kinds of mistakes and having all kinds of successes, and I was just kind of living life in a very impulsive way without really thinking about the consequences of my actions or my words. I did spend a good part of my life as a celebrity in a very selfish way, and I think I prided myself in the beginning of my career as sort of being able to do interviews and not reveal anything about myself. You know, that was my thing. I don't want people to know me. I just want them to know what I choose for them to know. And then I realized that, in fact, the whole point of being famous, or the whole reason I've been given the gifts that I've been given, is so that I can inspire people, really help people on a deeper level. And I'm not going to help people unless I actually share a piece of my soul with other people.
She's starting to let down some of the barriers that she built up in the past, and she definitely, ever since Ray of Light, she doesn't seem as hard-edged as she used to. And I think to fans she seems more approachable than she once was.
American life, I live the American dream. You are the best thing I've seen. You are not just a dream. I tried to stay ahead, I tried to stay on top, I tried to play the part, but somehow I forgot just what I did it for, and why I wanted more.
And I think with American Life, possibly one of the reasons that it wasn't successful was because in the States, that sort of statement of the first single, the US wasn't quite ready for. We were going to war, a war a lot of people didn't agree with, but there was huge clash of opinions over it, and I think Madonna just didn't want to get right in the middle of that fight. So unfortunately, she had an artistic statement that suddenly was compromised, and I think that misstep there sort of sacrificed the success of the whole album.
This is an ephemeral business. Next, you're just moving on. No one actually really moved on from Madonna. She doesn't now have the shock value. She doesn't have the that kind of street thing that she used to do on the same level. But no, I don't think people have got bored of Madonna. I think people are still interested in Madonna. I think they still buy her records, and I think there's still a buzz about Madonna when she releases a record. So people might talk about the fact that this record has sold half the amount that's sold, and you know, this single didn't go straight in at #1, and you know, everyone has peaks and troughs in their lives and in their careers.
Not only do we suffer from racism and sexism and things like that, but we also suffer from ageism, and that is that once you reach a certain age, you're not allowed to be adventurous, you're not allowed to be sexual, you know, and I think that's rather hideous. And I mean, a lot of people have said, oh, it's so pathetic, or what is she going to, I hope she's not still doing that in 10 years. I mean, who cares? What if I am? I mean, is there a rule? I mean, what, are you supposed to just die when you're 40? I mean, and that's basically what everyone wants people to do, and I think it's stupid. You're just supposed to just kind of, you know, put yourself out to pasture.
Put yourself back in the closet.
Exactly. I mean, why? Life is long. People are living to be, you know, 100 years old, so, you know, I don't get it.
I mean, no one could have predicted Madonna would last this long. Even around the Like a Virgin time, I don't think anyone would have predicted she'd still be around 20 years later and we'd still be talking about her and she'd still be news.
When you've got that number of years, that many air miles behind you, you know, you're never going to go away. People will never forget you and they will always be curious about you and they'll always want to go and buy your record and go and see you in concert.
Madonna now really has nothing to prove. She can do what she likes. She doesn't have to make another record. She's an icon. She will always be an icon. She'll always be the Marilyn Monroe that she wanted to be, you know.
Every record or everything she does is a progression, whereas so many artists of that age, it's kind of always a harking back to the past.
Now, a lot of people would say, why bother? You proved yourself, you've done it before.
I don't know why people always say, you know, you already did, you know, you have everything, you have fame, you have fortune, you know, why don't you just go and grow a tomato garden or something? Because it's not about proving that I can do one thing. It's about, without sounding corny, being an artist, and the artistic life is creation, and when you have ideas, you want to express them. So if you have one idea and it came off well, that doesn't mean that, you know, that's it. You know, life goes on. And as long as I'm inspired, I'm going to keep doing things.
It's hard to imagine somebody reaching those heights again or be as infused in the culture as Madonna is. She's had such an influence, and it's hard to imagine a pop artist that could sort of be original enough not to be seen as sort of taking a bit of her influence and then taking it somewhere else.
You know, Britney Spears and Kylie knew about Madonna before they started their careers. Who were Madonna's reference points?
But I think she will be mainly remembered as an incredible pop star, someone who was much more than just a pop performer, someone who brought loads and loads of things to play, you know, someone who had great videos, someone who looked great, someone who at every turn was reinventing herself, someone who always was stirring up some kind of controversy. Always.
You know, what else is the entertainment business about? It's, you know, what senses, it's not about smell, is it? Your eyes and your ears, that's what it's about. And she got both of them perfect and sustained that over a period of 20 years. You know, you can get something perfect for one single. Great, you know, one album, great. I mean, that really is cool. But, you know, she's sustained this over 20 years. I think that's fucking amazing.